Federal crackdown on Washington D.C. Still continues. At first, it was very quiet, very peaceful for everybody. People were doing TikToks and they were just showing, look how quiet. I'm not smelling drugs. I'm not smelling pot everywhere I go. I'm not. One older woman was saying she was thankful for this happening because she had to plan her day around going out, running her errands, going grocery shopping, and making sure she was back before dusk, because she didn't feel safe if she ended up being out there later. So she tried to avoid some of these outings and interactions. Again, that's not right for the American taxpayer. You shouldn't have to live that way. You should be able to go out and run your errands and do whatever you want whenever you need to do it, with the expectation of being safe, not having the trash of society attack you and make you feel unsafe. So here are some of the losers now. The lefty loser protesters they're too much of a cowards to riot because the cops and FBI and everything are out in force. So they're going to get immediately arrested. Some of them are. We're going to get to the story of the sandwich thrower. But here's some of the losers sitting on the street saying, "We don't want you here. Leave." Take a look at this crowd. It's all white idiots. I mean, it's amazing. Maybe it's not amazing to me, but it's amazing to me that these entitled white people who think that they're speaking for the majority and the minority, that their way is the only way and that's the way it has to go. I mean, these people are out there literally advocating for crime. That's what you're doing. When you're telling these authorities and everyone to go home, get out of our city, we don't want you here, you're saying you want crime. You're saying that you want people to be unsafe. Now, here's some of these idiots.
Get off our streets! Get off our streets!
Get off our streets! Get off our streets! We're a bunch of faggots!
People, what's your purpose? What's your goal? What's the motive? Why won't you show your face?
What are you, a fucking dummy?
Like you look yourself in the mirror and think I did a good job
What's your
today?
goal? What's your motive? What's my better side? This side or that side?
Left to not go down 14th Street. There's a random search right now. They've pulled over about 6 cars. We've seen 2 people get detained, one by ICE, one by the police, taken, no rhyme or reason.
And I just want to tell people at this point that it's not been confirmed. Continue.
That is what it seems like.
It's all
We're
white
trying
people.
To turn left so that
98% of it is all white people. By dumb white bitches and a bunch of gays yelling at them. And that story I told you about the old lady that was, or the older woman that was talking about being afraid to go out, that was an older black woman, by the way. So the members of the black community that want to live safely, want to live peacefully, and want to be left alone are the ones stepping up. A lot of the TikToks I've seen are black people saying, "I'm so thankful. I feel safer already. I can go out, and I feel more comfortable with going out and not being harassed and not being running into punks and all this other stuff." And on the flip side of that, all of the white people are going, "I've lived here for 5 years and I've never had a single issue. You don't need to be here. Crime's down." Like, just think about that. Think about that comparison right there for a minute. The comparative talking points. The black community that the whites are pretending that they're advocating for is saying, "We're thankful for the peace and we're thankful for the protection. We're not complaining here. Thank you." And the whites are going, "Get out of here! We don't like you! What's your purpose?" It's fucking dummy white people. You know, I used to say to myself, and I'd ask this question, Why do the left hate their own kind so much? Why do white leftists hate other white people so much? I could never understand hating your own kind. It would be like, why would blacks hate black? You can dislike some people in your community or that are part of your skin color or demographic, but it made no sense to me for you to hate your own side. Now I get it. I hate these white leftists so much. I hate them. They're some of the worst and some of the biggest problems overall is because of them, even more so than the minority community that does Black Lives Matter or whatever. Remember, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, it was just riddled with white people. You would think it was just nothing but blacks or Hispanics or something marching. No. White morons, like what I just showed you, are the ones doing all of this. So, okay. So now let's get to the sandwich thrower. As we're getting more information here, this dumb motherfucker worked for the Department of Justice. He has now been fired. We're going to get to that. But here's another leftist entitled white person. And the left talks about this all the time, right? White privilege. You know who seems to have that? They do. They think they can stand on the side of the road and yell at everybody. They think they can get in the police's face and have no repercussions at all. They think that they can speak for all the rest of us in what should happen. When the rest of us are going, no, I think what's happening in D.C. is great. In fact, bring that over here. Because the judges aren't doing their job. Sometimes the police aren't doing their job, or fairly enough, being told to stand down and not do their job. So you bring federal forces in and you're holding everybody accountable. So here's this jackass and what went down.
D.C. Jeanine Pirro reacts to a viral confrontation with law enforcement in Northwest D.C. You might have seen this already on your feed.
He's screaming in the cop's face.
Aggressively approached a federal
throws
officer,
a sandwich after
yelling,
him,
cursing, and berating him. Before throwing
of course, the coward runs,
hitting that officer in the chest, and you can see he booked it, ran away from there. The man was arrested at the scene and will be charged with assault on a police officer. Pirro is using this video as a warning to the public about attacking law enforcement.
An individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it
you mean a foot long, Jeanine?
He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And
it was about that long. I mean, my God. Have you ever seen a sandwich like that? Oh my, yes, it's called a foot long. Fucking.
We're going to back the police to the hilt. So there, stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Well, okay, you can count on.
Want $1,000? All
right, so there was that in Judge Jeanine, this part of the Trump administration now talking about absolutely 100% holding his feet to the fire. I'm glad. I don't care that it was just, the left is trying to downplay it and say, oh, the big bad sandwich. That's assault. You took something and you threw it at somebody else. That's assault. I don't care if it's a small rock. I don't care if it's an iced coffee, a sandwich, your hat. Whatever it is, you throw something at somebody else, and especially a federal, what kind of fucking retard do you have to be? To get in their face, scream at them, and then throw something at them in front of like 5 other officers in addition to that one. I mean, that's the level of brainiac this guy is. So a man accused of throwing a sandwich at a federal officer patrolling a Washington street as part of President Donald Trump's takeover in law enforcement in the nation's capital was fired from the Justice Department, Attorney General Pam Bondi said Thursday. This is an example of the deep state we've been up against for 7 months as we work to refocus the DOJ, Bondi wrote. On X. You will not work in this administration while disrespecting our government and law enforcement. Some D.C. residents and national Democrats have reacted with fury to what they view as a federal incursion into their city. Trump has the right to do that. D.C. is not a state, it's a district, and is controlled federally. Saying they feel Trump's steps are unnecessary given numbers which show declining crime in the area. Crime is not declining. D.C. is like the 4th worst place for crime and murder in the continental United States, and I already did another update where I showed the former police commissioner is under charges right now for fudging all of the crime data. So it is in fact bad there, and this needs to happen. The man identified in charging documents as Sean Charles Dunn allegedly called the officer a fucking fascist. What's your purpose here? And he yelled at him for several minutes before throwing the sandwich and attempting to flee on foot on Sunday. So much for the guy's morals, right? Why don't you throw it and stand up to him instead of running away like a fucking coward? Why are you here? I don't want you in my city. What's your purpose? Dunn said, according to a filing. A video of the sandwich throw went viral on social media. An attorney for Dunn acknowledged a request for comment but declined to say more, nothing they were rushing into a hearing. Yeah, I bet you guys are busy. Trump allies have touted the arrest as an example of their push to bring law and order to the city. Jeanine Pirro, United States Attorney for D.C., recounted the incident on her X account Wednesday. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charge him with a felony, assault on a police officer, and we're going to back the police to the hilt, she said in the video. So stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else. So I absolutely throw the book at him, or the Subway sandwich book at him. Throw the whole thing. He deserves it. Excuse me. Don't let the left get away with this. They have been getting away with this for years. And the American taxpayers that are trying to live our lives and do the right thing, we all end up getting caught up in all of this crap in dealing with these mentally ill people. Not to mention to speak of the fact that you've got these people that are anti-Americans that hate us working in government office. I mean, how dangerous is that? People that have got, in the Department of Justice, no less, right? I mean, I don't know if he's a filing clerk or he's doing something more, but you have people that get into these jobs, and the only thing they push is their own agenda and their own ideology. That's their focus. Not on justice for you and I, not on justice for your family, not safeguarding you and making sure you're safe, acting out and being a clown like you just saw him do. And thinking that he's a big tough guy that's standing up against the fascists who are keeping the city safe. That's what they're there to do. Stop the outrageous amounts of crime and beatings and everything that are happening. That's why he's there. And the left doesn't like that. The left don't like that crime is being dealt with. So there you go. That's the update today with the for the Subway assassin, Subway assassin, sandwich assassin. All right. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you again soon.